Okay, so welcome to episode 3. And so I'm Rachel, and
I'm Tanya.
and this is
Sarah.
and so we're here today with our first little guest.
What's with the little
What's with
part?
the little-
Well, look, if the shoe fits, if the shoe fits, like
no need.
So Sarah, do you want to let them know what your episode is?
Apparently about being short.
Well, look, we can go into that one if you want to.
No, so I think I'm on this episode for I Am Homeowner.
Yeah. So Sarah's a new homeowner. Congratulations.
Yay!
Yeah. We're over the celebratory stage, so we're in the regret at the moment.
So tell us about I suppose both
The
of us
process,
are homeowners as well, and
Mhm.
it's
Well, for me, it was like
It's a
8 years
journey.
ago,
Yeah.
so it's probably all different now. Yours was more recent, but again, different again, I think.
yeah, because I done it by myself, whereas
yeah.
you done
Yeah.
it. You had someone that loved you to do it.
Rachel!
No.
So Sarah, talk to me about it, because there's loads of obviously we've been through it, but there's so many people that are so like us. I'm only recently through it as well, that it just seems like something that's not obtainable in today's thing. So talk to us when you decided, okay, you and your partner, let's say his name, Carl, sat down, and how did you decide to, and what was your first thing you done?
I don't know. I think we were very, very kind of naive to what it is and what the steps were.
Yeah.
So we genuinely just when we made the decision, I was just like, I am one of those people that has to be organised, has to have the plan.
Yeah.
So we just made phone calls straight away to a broker. And we're just honest in the sense of we're just starting.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to get the correct advice for the actual saving part of it as well, because I know I'd heard other people and their thing was they'd saved within a certain amount of time and they genuinely got denied because they saved too much too quickly, that the banks said their saving process wasn't feasible and sustainable.
Yeah.
So my advice would be, at no matter what stage you're at, if you've made the decision to step into that, just make a phone call and get in touch with a broker and ask for from step
if you're
1.
4 months into it, you have to sacrifice a lot to get to the point of mortgage approval. And if you're already 4 months into it, it takes you a little bit of your soul. That if you then realise that you've done it all wrong and you've got another 6 months ahead of you, that you have to do it a different way. Yeah. So that is probably one of the best bits of advice, 100%.
Yeah.
And even if it's not a broker, even a bank, if you're
there's free mortgage advice from banks, but I think we had made the decision as well that we were going to go through a broker, because I think again the paperwork side of it is intense, and so many of the brokers now link in with banks. Our broker was and you're not charged, they get paid by the bank you decide to go with. So but I have to say, I think the process would have been 10 times harder for us if we didn't have a broker working alongside us.
I'd agree with that, because I remember when we went for our mortgage and we went from a few banks, we went to Bank of Ireland, Permanent TSB, and each time it was a process. And I remember Bank of Ireland didn't even get back to us. And then we went to AIB, the last one.
Don't give out to us.
Oh, sponsor us from
It's okay, I went with your Bank of Ireland,
I still bank with them, it's okay. But AIB then eventually, but do you know what? We needed help. But
you were quite young.
We were. I was 26 when I started that.
Either.
Yeah. And I just remember that it wasn't, sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know as well. And thankfully we had good people behind us that helped us out to get our mortgage. So I would not just people, knew people in the bank, and that's because I think it's very hard, even 8.5 years ago, or it would have been 9 years ago when we started probably the process. Yeah. But it's very hard for people, and I'd say even now it's probably harder again. So I'd go down, if I was to do it again, I'd go down.
You know what, right? I didn't have, I have a mortgage, so I suppose I was successful in the end, but it took me 18.5 months.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember they came out and weighed me, enough?
Yeah.
Took a urine sample and all. I thought that someone was going to. I genuinely thought that I was on one of them knock joke.
You might have been.
I thought someone was winding me up. I was like, girls who got weighed for their mortgage approval. So I think it's because I was buying by myself. They wanted to make sure, like, am I if I was a bit fat? Am I if I was? Do I not get?
They're not allowed to hold.
What? Like, what are you testing me urine for? What's that going to tell you?
That's a very random one.
Yeah.
I've never heard
I was like,
We couldn't believe that.
No,
I was
that's
like,
very
an
strange.
actual
Yeah.
thing. Like, I was like, I thought people were winding me up a little bit.
We thought you were winding us up.
Like,
To be fair, when you
honest
told
to
us
God.
that. Yeah.
But I remember, so it took me 18.5 months. I do think because I owned the business, and that was I did work part-time in other forms of education, but I think because I was buying by myself and because I was my sole income as well, I think that's why they stress tested me to the max. And that's why it took 18.5 months, like literally.
Yeah, it was
That
wild.
was like soul destroying. But also, I know 2 people in the time frame that I was going through that went directly with banks. ESB actually.
Oh.
And one of them got approved in 3 days and one of them got approved in 3 months.
So don't listen to me.
So no, but I've heard loads of positives about brokers, so I don't really want to say from my stance because I'm quite an individual
case. I mean,
yeah,
you got
like
ways. You got ways. Oh yeah, you are.
I'm just the individual case in life.
You kind of I don't know if you are. You
so,
might
like,
ask
and then when I had my child, then I got weighed again because you know that study, the longitude study of growing up in Ireland, Albert's got selected for that, and so they sent me a message. A letter about it, and I just thought, if I wanted to opt in, so I didn't write back to them, and then they arrived at me so I wasn't there when
Stop
they
getting people into your house to weigh you.
No, I didn't know they were coming. Some people are waiting because I thought from my son, obviously, because he's grown up. I'm grown up. I thought I'm grown up, like I'm grown up, fully grown up. So I got weighed. But it's right up until he's 21. I was like, what do I get weighed for 20 when I'm 72? Do I have to stand on a weight?
You still have to be on your calorie diet.
You'd be 72 when he's 21.
I didn't add it. Oh.
That's not great with the math.
She's just slightly off. Yeah. Slightly off with the math.
Yeah, but look, it's 56. I don't want to be sitting on the weighing scale.
Well, you will be. It's your last one, though. Your last weight.
I don't know how we got on to weighing me.
Longitude or something like that. You're going to longitude.
So,
no, I definitely didn't have to get weighed. I probably wouldn't have got the mortgage if I had to, so it's good.
I know, you're only little.
As referenced in the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, you would have got it. So tell me, so then was there any point when you done your phone call and you knew what you needed to do, was there any point like kind of after that, before your approval, that you just thought like, I am not going to make it?
No, I don't think we had, like, we were pretty kind of focused, like, and it was one of those things where we just decided we were doing it, set our goals in regards to like how much we were going to save and how long it was going to take us.
Yeah.
So no, I really don't think we had one of those moments during that side of it. Our moments of like, is this going to actually work, was more so between the sale agreed point.
Oh yeah.
And the thing, because I think that's when your panic builds, because you in the back of your mind you're like, or we have a house, like, but then in the back of your mind you're like, but also they could pull out, but then you're like, but why would they pull out? But then, and it's such a long time frame
as well. Before I went about getting a mortgage, I never knew that your mortgage approval only lasts for 6 months. Now I know you can get it extended, but then like it runs out. Then I think you can only get it extended once. I don't.
You can say
it went to 9
I think it
months,
depends, on the bank, and there's different. Like some extend it for 6 months, some are 3 months.
Yeah.
But I think after your forced extension, basically you have to. It's not a full reapplication, but you have to give back in, like, say, your wages and all of that kind of stuff in case your circumstances changed and stuff.
Actually, do you want to like say to people that are maybe like looking at what you have to give in, like, so that they kind of know?
I suppose they don't ask for anything too extensive. It's the obvious, like your own kind of contact information, apart from Rachel's unique experience. Contact information, obviously proof of wages, your contract, you need confirmation from your employment that you're permanent and things like that. And then after
your
that,
it's certificate as well.
So that'd be your employer kind of filling that out. And then after that, it's mostly just like, be prepared, I would say, as well. Once you get to that point where you're actually, I suppose, mortgage approved, maybe start reaching out for your like health insurance and things like that, because that was one of the things that like held me up. Like my broker did as well, like, but you need that before they'll release your mortgage, like, as well. Like, and one of my friends, she just kept saying, "Oh, I'll do it," but that can take a couple of weeks as well. Like, so then it's a lot of things and that's,
I think
we got the
what they
mortgage
came out
broker's
with.
advice with.
I think that's why I got Wade and thing. I think it was
Must have been your health, for your life insurance.
Because obviously if I, like, no one's taking, no one.
But like, they just asked for all of our, obviously we had to fill in like
if
the
you had any
records and stuff like that. Yeah,
medical
conditions and this, that, and the
all
other.
that
Like,
stuff.
yeah. Well, it didn't. They took my word for what my weight was. I suppose. Like, so.
Oh my god, I wouldn't even thought I was real slim. If I had just
I wonder has anybody else.
I'm really curious.
That.
Did anyone else?
Oh my god,
get
people?
Yeah, that's
Like,
a strange
I was just
one.
like standing in my kitchen offering her a cup of tea, and then there was a weighing scale on my phone, and I was just like, "Oh, I'll drop the biscuit." I was like,
In the tea.
I was like, and then my waist measured. Like what's it? What if I'm a size 12? What if I'm a size 20? Do I not?
Obviously, I'd imagine.
the house door.
I'd imagine it's obviously your BMI, like your healthy body mass, like for it. But like at the same stage, it's a very specific detail to focus
Like,
on.
For
someone that doesn't have pre-existing conditions that are connected with.
When did I get that? I got that. Yeah. So I was 34, like with no underlying health conditions.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So to go
I'm
into
not
that much
going to
detail.
drop dead in.
No.
Well, Jesus, I hope I'm not going to drop dead in the next 31 years. Is what my mortgage was.
I love the way you for the next 31. I'd be okay if I die when I'm 31 years. Like she's like slowly building her acceptable age limit.
It's like you're on age.
Which is 65.
No, you need more guests. You have to keep me sweet.
We need you back on.
This is true.
They'll all be judging it from this now.
Stop it. They'll be like, will we come on? I don't think so. It's a no for me. So well, that's good that, like, kind of once you knew what was what, that is kind of smooth sailing in that regard. So then,
but I think as well, you kind of have to give yourself that leniency and stuff like that as well. I think
you just have to forget it a little bit, like, as in, like, when you're waiting for your calculations to come back, when you're waiting for, and like the thing is, I suppose the difference with used to that I'd say was really sold is destroying in one sense that, like, you work so hard to get a mortgage approval. And then you go out and you get outbid everywhere. I bought my mum and dad's house, so I knew.
The bidding experience
I had, so I knew that I was getting this house regardless once I got my mortgage for it.
Yeah.
Whereas I can't even imagine how that feels.
And by the day, really the houses were just going up, and even at that, compared to now, my house, I'm so lucky when I bought my house.
Yeah, you were.
Compared to Sarah,
your house is probably another 150k on top
easily,
of it.
Easily now.
Yeah.
And the rest, your house, if you'd done a work to it, would be 150k over, but because of how much you've done to it,
I haven't even done anything to this house, and in 1 year,
it
went up by 12k.
Yeah.
1 year, and I've done.
And it's a bit disheartening for people though as well, isn't it? Like I think of the kids growing up, and I'm half tempted to buy another house.
Yeah,
I'm half tempted to.
Look at
as an investment.
Jesus,
podcast.
No, not even.
Like save loads of money.
No, not even that. I'm like, just, I just want to look into something like that because I'm like, that's just, I don't know. I just worry so much. You don't know what it's going to be like when they're older, and I'm like, should I invest for them?
I started a savings investment fund for Albert from when he was like 4 months. Me and his dad put money into it every month, and he will have a good, like, a double of a deposit for when he's at an age of buying, because and it's not that I don't want the child to, and we're not saving a massive amount. It's just because it's an investment fund, so it's the money's growing itself. But I think that, and it's not that I want to hand him anything, because I didn't get. I know I got my mum and dad's house, but I had
you
to
just don't
get
know what way the world is
going. You just don't know what it's going to be, and you're like, what can you give them? And like the thing is, that money that I give them, he'd only be able to use that for medical concerns, to start driving, for education, to travel, or to buy a house. There wouldn't be any of this. I'm going to Ibiza for a season, or any of this, like, I want to get designer stuff. If you want to get that, work for it. Yeah. So I just want to know that whatever steps in life he needs, if it's medical, whatever, that I can give him that little bit. Because honestly, if you even think about, like, when I think back when I was younger, like, my mum took a career break and was able to, on my dad's wages, they were able to pay a mortgage, and we were able to.
Be able to.
Like, I'd be starving. They'd come at me again after a few months. I'd be sorry for that. Like, you wouldn't. You couldn't do it.
No, not now.
And come here, I'm not saying I can afford a second house. It's just something like that.
Look at it. I can't afford.
No, exactly. But it's just like it's something you're thinking about. You're like, what way can I help, or for my kids? And come here, a lot of people cannot even
give and
do anything.
Why
like,
should
it's
parents
just
be responsible to give it? Because I remember years ago.
Why should I feel like that?
Chris said
it wasn't even
all the parents should gift their things $5,000 or something like that.
Sorry,
why?
Yeah,
why should they? They should actually, if they got worked and saved, they should be able to buy a house without mum and dad's help.
Yeah.
And I'm not sitting here in like throwing stones, because I know my mum and dad gave me a good chunk off this house, and I'm very grateful of for that. But not many people are in that position.
No.
And that is not okay. That the only reason I have a house when I employ 20 people is because my mum and dad had to give me a chunk of my inheritance off it.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah.
That is not right.
No, it's not.
And like, I've got a master's, I've put myself through college, like I've done everything to be as successfully sound and like monetarily sound as it could be, and I still wouldn't. I would have been able to afford maybe a 2-bed apartment. Maybe if I didn't get out
even
of it.
after.
If even and not in Dublin.
No,
it's
just
mental.
Yeah, it is wild.
I think there was a lot of talk as well of like, oh, there'll be a crash and it'll all come back around. But I think it has absolutely been proven that if anything, it is another decade of things worse to come before we see any kind of.
Before we see anything, like I thought with COVID and all, it would have went down.
No,
and the wars and stuff like that. But no.
And do you know what? I'm not like, obviously we're not political or anything like that.
No, it's not that. But it's just I think the issues that.
I do think that it's the same parties that are obviously there's 80% of them are landlords, so it's important that they keep that high price, that they can keep the tenants in their houses.
The other thing that it does bother me is that people paying $2,000 a month for rent, but they can't get a mortgage. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. But they're living in these places for years, paying that money
and paying savings, going on holidays. You know, they have extra money, but they can't get approved.
A mortgage. It's wild.
It's like, I had to move back to my mum and dad's for a year to save for. So I was renting.
Yeah, same.
I had an apartment. And I had to move back because I wouldn't have been able to afford it. For a 1-bed, I had a 3-house apartment. Like, literally, it was like tiny. Now, I loved it, but it was tiny. I couldn't afford to pay that rent and to save. So I had to move back in my 30s to my mum and dad's for a year to save for a deposit, because that was the only way.
Yeah.
And like I just feel so sorry for people that don't have the position to do that. Like, some people have big families that they don't have the room to move back. Some people's parents pass away. Some parents had to downsize houses because they couldn't afford to keep up with things. So there is, like, we're in fortunate positions that we are able to say
should be very
we're
grateful.
home 100%, and I bless, like, it's
no, I wouldn't have been able to either. I even I would have been renting originally in Smithfield, and then made the decision that was not obtainable because I wasn't in a position to save anything. It was too expensive an area. Then moved back to residential, and when I did that, I was like saving a little bit. Like that, when we made the commitment to be like, okay, we're mortgage bound and this, that, and the other, I can 100% say we would not have got a house if it wasn't for the fact that we were in a position to move back into his parents' house and saved, because there's no way, like, and you're saying it'll take longer, but it wouldn't have taken longer. I genuinely think it would have been absolutely impossible.
100%. 100%. And I think that's why it's not in their interest, because it's their second income. So that's why they're not doing much about it, because it's only going to affect their pockets. But if people can obtain houses easier, is that even a word?
It's not.
Well,
it's not, but I wasn't going to highlight it.
Copyright. That means then that will only hurt their pockets. So, like, I don't know. I'm not, like, we're not getting into that, but I just think
we did,
like,
it's
like, very, it's black and white. It's pretty black and white.
No one can disagree with it. I don't think.
But so fast forward, you get the call. Where were you?
Work.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
And did you do a little dance?
I remember you texted me.
She had texted you. Tanya just left. She was with me that day, and I was like,
found out
you were real secretive. Like, no, you were.
I wasn't secretive
for a house
so much.
Just mortgage approved. What? Like, that's what happened. There was no, like.
But I think that's probably part of me just kind of almost. It wasn't that it was secretive so much as it was like, I kept expecting or waiting for the other shoe to fall or something to derail it. So I wasn't as like vocal about, like, even with the sale agreed, like I told some people, but I wasn't like, oh, like Facebook official sale agreed, because I was like, I don't.
Hey,
I think
you just
did you call?
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
did you just buy?
I think
I think
was
we
it
said
you?
with the mortgage approval, and
okay.
I said,
Yeah,
and I said, hey, and then
she voiced out to me, and she's
yeah.
like,
and
hey,
then
she
when
got
she
a
got the
house.
and then I was like, hello
again. Yeah.
Hey, hello from the other side. Like, I'm only on maternity leave. I'm not like.
In fairness, I'm
not
always
like
like
a
that though as
different
well.
country, like-
I'm not one for shouting news either from the roof.
Yeah, but that's news.
Like,
Yeah,
I know,
So
yeah.
you want to see? I nearly wet myself up in. No, I didn't know I was pregnant, but I nearly. And do you remember in my second trimester that was a bit of an issue for me. But I was in insomnia up in Super Value when I got a call, and I literally like shouted at the barista. Like I'd say, like people will think I'm mental where I live, anyways. But
It
I'd
is
say
an
it's
exciting
just-
time. If
I think, and I think we weren't expecting it. I had made the phone call. We had waited all week, and it was a Friday, and like we had hoped all week, and we were like the top bidders, and they kind of kept saying, "Oh, we to reach back in with the person like just under you to see," and it was all
That
this
would
kind
kill
of like
me.
back and forth. And then I remember just being like, just gonna make the phone call. It was Friday afternoon, like late enough, and like that. I just said, like, I was just wondering, like you said, you'd be able to kind of confirm sale agreed today, you know, throughout the week. And he just went, leave it with me and I'll give you a call back, because she's debating whether or not she wants to give it the weekend to see if more. And I just said, that's fine. And then in a little bit of a hint, nudge, was like, that's fine. But if you can ring me back with at least her opinion on it, because I have several viewings that I'm going to this weekend. And I want to know how confidently to go forward with bids there.
Yeah.
And then I kind of said, and there's one other one that we're already bidding on, and we're in the same boat as this one. So I need to know what my options were. And he was like, okay. And I think when he rang her and said there was a chance he could lose us.
Love this, take this. That's a good bit.
She came back straight away.
You have to play them at their own
I never.
I made it now.
Even thought that. You're real clever.
I just feel like that's what I felt like. He was more so going, oh, she's still deciding if she wants to accept that bid. And it was like as if he was waiting for me to outbid. And I was like,
you're charging me interest on this.
And I was like, but I'm not outbidding myself. Like, I'm the top bid, so you can keep hinting towards her not being happy.
You don't need it for
with that.
Or anything.
So I was like, well, that's what I said. I was like, we are bidding on one other house, I said, and we're going back for viewings this weekend. So I need to know where I stand.
Yeah.
And he was like, let me, and he literally rang back a half an hour later and was like, she's accepted her bid. It's sale agreed.
I'm blessing myself as if I don't know that she didn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God, as if I just.
But then the panic,
we were the same. We were like, that's our final bid. Now we're done.
We had,
and it was like, that is it. They're not getting anything more. So if they're taking it or they're not, and we're going to move on. And we got the phone call like that.
Yeah.
Sure, I was in Walk, I can't remember. In Giraffe at the time, and what you call it? I remember being like, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, so nervous. I was like, I'm so nervous, but it's a great feeling to be.
It is, it is.
It's like you've like ticked the adult list.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm a grown up.
And then it's like that time where you get like you have your first glass. You haven't had it yet. Your first glass of wine in your own house, and you know when you have kids.
Oh no, I've had a glass of wine. I just don't have floors or a sofa.
Yeah, but when it's done, or when you're fully moved,
well, no, even bother with the glass.
that was stress.
There's no table.
But like when you first move in, and it's you're done to whatever capacity you could do
your comfort and your
and then it was like, oh, now I have to clean and do all this all my whole life now.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to ask you now.
We're living at home.
Now that you're there, like, well, you're not there. You're there as in, like, you're in demolition mode now,
Well, we're in reconstruction mode, I suppose you could call it now. The demo mode has kind of passed. No, we're nearly finished. Like,
good.
We're
like
nearly
how long
done.
Time frame?
Like about within the next 2 weeks we'll be in, because we're nearly done now.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, like all the.
So you're going to be in for Halloween?
That's my plan. Yeah, everyone's like, you'll be in for Christmas, and I was like, I want to be in for my Christmas.
Yeah.
I want to be in for Halloween.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the thing, but that's the goal anyway. But like all the renovation parts is done. There's paint going on walls this week, so it's starting. I think we were painting last week and the weekend, and we walked in. We're like, Carl, I think our house kind of looks a little bit like a home. Like it looks a little bit like a home. Just ignore those 42 boxes in that corner over there. Do you know that way? Because they're not.
take photos from different angles.
I like my house is still not. I wouldn't even say it's a home, but like obviously I found out on the 5th that I got mortgage approved. The 7th I got me dog, and then the 12th I found out I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So all within the week,
You were
it was
busy.
just a lot.
There was a lot.
There was a lot.
Yeah.
So like I feel like, and like he just doesn't let you do painting.
No.
10-month-olds
I don't think you'd like to do painting either, would you?
No, well, if someone
You
let me do
don't.
it, I try to do it.
No, but we won't though. We won't
but
let
like
you.
I'm gonna try to.
She doesn't scream DIY.
No, I'm not DIY.
Rachel will do that wall in about 7
Hours,
working
years.
months.
Yeah.
Because just that one.
Oh yeah.
So
like I've got good visions, but I just need to get them to materialize.
And someone else to do them.
That costs money, and to get someone to do that. Now I don't have. Now I don't have
the money.
Again.
If there's anyone that wants.
And a little winky face.
I'll give you a cup of tea.
Is that what we're calling it?
Like,
she's giving that. She's not taking. Jesus. This is right. I need to go on to
That's so extreme.
Right, so what's that? Right, so I actually think that we had what I don't know whether you could answer this yet, actually.
Yeah.
Because so maybe you might think of like what you might feel, but like when you think fast forward to 2 weeks and you're in your house and you're having your first home cooked meal, how do you think that'll feel?
That Carl will cook. Yeah.
I just rub it in there because it's cooked me on, but
it's just more so the kitchen is 100% nothing to do with me. That's not my place.
Business,
taster. But that's about it.
That's very well.
I think it almost is though. Like I am getting the glimpses of how amazing it will feel because like so much has now, like so much of what work we did to it was messy between plastering and knocking walls down and building things back, and it did look like a construction site. And for a while there I was like, all we did was buy this house. The reason we bought this house was because it was ready to move in. that was our
like your house is
concept.
Like, I didn't even see her out. Like when I went in, it was like
we'd already literally we
ripped
ripped everything out. And like when we went to view, we had 2 other houses that we were bidding on, and one would have needed a lot of work, and one wasn't too bad. And we were kind of like, but like this one would be great because like you're ready to move in. Like we can slowly do the work as the time goes by. And instead, it was all me. I think we got 1 room plastered. I loved it, and I genuinely was like, so now the whole house has to be plastered from top to bottom, like every single room. And they were like, but once you prep it and all, and I was like,
so any like money saving tips any of us could give for
money saving? My thing was it just for monthly, the same amount every month. And like let it go as a direct debit. That's it. It's like paying the bill.
To physically take it out.
I used to lodge it in for mine, but just because of the
I don't direct debit because it just
direct debit.
I was the same.
Because I don't have that.
And you can't touch it.
Yeah, and it's in a locked account as well.
Yeah, you cannot touch it because if they see you taking out, it looks like you can't survive without that money. So that means you can't afford to live.
Yeah.
Because there's so many other things that come into it. Your children are dependents. They look at that. You have a car. You have so much. They look at your outgoings. So you need to. Yeah. And also, if you're paying bills, pay them straight out of your bank into wherever it is being paid. Because if you don't, and it's just cash, if one, it looks like you're taking cash out of your bank for what reason they don't know. Yeah. And 2, it just proves you're paying different sorts of bills and that you can live.
And do you know what actually happened to me on the airplane? So they went back. So they usually go back 1 year to look at you, but they went back 3 years of mine. But I in my what's it when they see how your money is? What's that called?
Expenses?
No. Do you know when they no. Do you know when they look and see if you've any black marks on your credit history? What's that called?
Credit check.
Yeah. Is it a credit check?
I don't know. Probably. That's very American. I think
that would be very
they do that. Yeah,
I know what you mean,
so they usually go back for 1 year, but for a business owner, they do say they can go up to 5 years. So I went back to 3 for mine. But one time on my Revolut, so Revolut, obviously my wages don't go into, so when I want to spend money on it, I top it up and that's it.
Yeah.
So I don't, it's not like something that, but on my, it got flagged on my Revolut. So when I went back today, I was like, I happened to have on my Ryanair app. I was like, where was I? I was on holidays. So I paid on a flight, got my wine or whatever I got on the flight. It didn't come out, but then it came out days later, but I still had a balance on my Revolut. So I obviously went and spent it in the shops, and then my Revolut went to minus. But I didn't realise. But
and
it was
they
the flight.
flagged that as a
So then I had to top up my Revolut, and I was like, "Oh, feck that!" I actually forgot that the flight hadn't come out. But I don't think they take Revolut on some flights now because of it. But they flagged that as a thing, and I had to explain. And then once I was able to stand over the Y, I went into a deficit. Then they were like, okay. So like one thing is keep your balance, even if you're at 1 cent in your account. Don't let it
never go into a negative.
Never go into. Don't do overdrafts. Nothing.
Yeah.
Save the same amount. And also like, treat yourself with little things, right? Because you need to, if you're saving for a house, is not like saving for a car or something like that. It's a lot bigger. So like, you could be 6 months doing it, you could be a year saving. So I think every month I done something that I had money set aside for. So whether it was that I got myself new pajamas and got a face mask, got a nice bottle of wine, and if that was my thing that month, I don't like. And then there might be another month that there might have been someone's birthday, so I done a night out with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
I had to have one thing a month at least to look forward to. Now it doesn't. It might only be €30 one month, but it could be €100 the next month. But let yourself within your budget plan for one thing, because other than that, you just feel like, especially in the winter, I felt, because in the summer you can go to the park and kind of make yourself feel happy with the ducks. But
no, I'm so worried about her. I wonder if she was wet. Like,
she needed a mental health check,
like,
not a weight check.
100% you're getting signed in after this podcast. Please listen first.
I just think you have to be reasonable. That's all it is. Like, because when you like now, like it's also not only about proving to the bank that you can pay bills and still live your life. You genuinely need to prove it to yourself. So there's no point in spending or saving so much to get there quicker that you end up like, it is a very stressful thing to go through, and it's so destroying if you take away like all gratitude whatsoever that you have in your life, because you're not going to live that way. So there's no point in saving that way.
They won't live that anyway.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You're just like,
you need to save in a realistic manner.
You could do that for 3 months. That would be all you could do. Because life goes on. And the thing is, whether you're saving or not, like your friends still have their 30th birthdays, or they have new babies, or they buy houses, or they get married and stuff like that. So like, life goes on. So it's just about, okay, if you know that if you know your friend's gonna you get married, you know about 3 months ahead the exact date or whatever, you have the invites or whatever, you're able to plan, okay, I need to buy the outfit this month, I need to, like, so that you can enjoy that night.
But that's what they want to see, that you're planning. They don't want to see that, like, you could spend the same amount of money at the wedding in January, like 500, 600, 700 quid, however much it is. But no, but for, like, as in for the present and your dress and your makeup. But it is about showing the bank that like, you knew that event was coming. So here's 100 taken out every single month. And you still spent the same amount of money in January. But if they see you take it out €700, it looks frivolous. So you just kind of have to constantly plan. That's what it is.
You just don't go to Grant Thomas during the time.
That wasn't really a struggle I had now, if I'm being honest. That was more of a you thing.
Little drop before his penny. Do you know what? I actually did when I got my mortgage. Do you know the way the first month you don't have to pay? That's another thing in case you didn't know. Now you know.
And you can put it up to 3 months, I think.
No, well, Joe, I'm glad I didn't. Because had I known that, I would have done that. But the first month, didn't I go and I went into Brown Thomas and I bought 2 things in Prada. I remember. 2 things in Prada, and now they keep messaging me because they think I can afford to shop in Prada.
Yeah, like that was
the last 2 things I've ever. That was it. Done for my life. We Prada hairbands.
I'll actually take that hairband, yes, because.
Oh, stop. Right, so look, I think we could like probably even do another one at another stage about a home. But obviously, like, we know that this kind of time that we keep our listeners to, so it's accessible. So look, thanks, Sarah, for coming on.
Thanks so much.
We have a little present for you, but they kept it. They didn't give it to us. So when you get it off us, you can tag us so that they know that we actually gave you something, so that we're not lying. So
I'll wait and confirm. We'll wait and see.
So yeah, so you get your presents off us if you come on. There you go.
So until next time,
stay true to you.
Bye.
Yeah.